Well guys, I'm back with a couple of stories here, and first I wanted to show you this article in the Telegraph that has Nick Timothy pointing out some cold hard facts people should really know, but obviously many still don't. In fact, as he states, when people do find out about it, they will be furious, which is something I've said many times before. Well, actually all of it I've said before, but seeing it all laid out in a few paragraphs is not something you often see in the media, so it's certainly worth going over again. Now, you will likely remember Brexit and the public's burning desire to take back control not only of our laws but of illegal immigration and the numbers coming into the UK generally. Taking back control was about stopping EU laws ruling over us, ending free movement to control legal migration while also stopping any illegal migration completely. Well, in 2019, the rhetoric was there from Boris talking the talk, but that's literally all it was. The public wanted the numbers entering this country to come down across the board, which, as some of you will know, is not happening, because they are actually going up, thanks to Boris Johnson letting the bloody world in, as we've seen. Now, it should also be pointed out before we go through this that Nick Timothy was the Chief of Staff to Theresa May, who implemented the UN Charter on migration, so his pond scum in my eyes. But even with that being said, what he states here is actually correct, so it's worth covering because people should know they're being sold out. Here he writes, "We are yet to see meaningful post-Brexit immigration statistics. In 2020, thanks to the pandemic, net migration fell by 88% to just 34,000. In 2019, net migration was 271,000, high but not unusual for the past couple of decades when the number has been known to exceed 300,000. He goes on, "We can already see from the number of visas issued that immigration is about to soar again, probably to record highs, which is once again something I've said before. In fact, my video the other day about Boris Johnson and his India trade deal literally said the same thing." He goes on, comparing 2021 to 2019, work visas are 239,987, which is up 25%. Family visas are at 280,776, which is up 49%. And student visas at 432,279 are up 52%. So there, guys, you can literally see it's an absolute fuck ton of people that are coming here on these visas, which, let's be honest, is perfectly legal because the government's made it so. This is obviously not something people voted for and goes against Brexit, ending free movement and literally everything else that's going to piss off voters left, right and centre. Well, maybe not so much on the left, but definitely right and centre. It goes on, more than a quarter of foreign students are Chinese, but the number of Nigerian students is up 415%, Pakistani up 256%, and Indian up 164%. Which, as I said, is obviously before the India trade deal comes in and all of that bollocks, which he said brings in another 200,000 odd people, I think it was. And here a little bit further down it gives you the real kicker of this complete shit show, which we all knew was true anyway. Work permits were unlimited and the definition of skilled work was watered down, as I've covered before. The shortage occupation list was extended to allow the recruitment of foreign workers in yet more trades, and employers were no longer compelled to seek workers from the resident population before recruiting from overseas. This is actually something we see with the farm workers bullshit in 2020 or 2021 when they said there wasn't enough workers and they had to employ them from abroad. What was actually happening was many of these farms weren't taking people from the UK because they didn't want to. It goes on, a salary threshold supposedly set to ensure only high-skilled immigration was set at 25,600 and for some workers only 20,400. Foreign students, whatever their qualifications, were given the right to stay and work in Britain at the end of their courses. Now, as far as I'm aware, that's 5 years, but they can roll it over and get it done for longer if they want to, or if they've got a certain job, which if it's £20,000 the minimum, then it's not going to be that hard to do. Either way, it 100% shows that the government is taking the piss out of us in literally every sense of the word, as I've said. And further on down it actually goes on to talk about the points-based system, which it seems is a complete load of wank and allows for more migration than there was before. To be honest though, does that really surprise any of you? Because at this point it certainly doesn't surprise me. Yes, it's tough on the legal migration, but the amount of legal migrants it lets in is even more than we currently have here. So yes, we can sing praises about stopping illegal migrants for how Australia does it, but at the end of the day, the points-based system which we've just took on seems to be a complete load of wank. Well, a complete load of wank for us, but not for the people who actually want mass immigration like obviously Boris Johnson does. So essentially the borders are open, like I said the other day, and numbers will be well above all that have come before, and I'm not even talking about the illegal immigrants here. This will be an influx of legal migration despite Boris Johnson having no mandate to do it, as it's against what most of the country actually wants. Well, Labour and Lib Dem voters will be happy with it, which to be honest has actually been a theme of this government, has it not? Be it lockdowns, mask mandates, online censorship bills, or the immigration door being wide open, Boris Johnson has spent 2 years enacting policies Labour tosspots would love, but the rest of the country hates. Now moving on, it seems like Google has joined in some woke madness with its latest move that puts it on par with The Guardian or Netflix, I would say. Yes, we know Google is pretty woke anyway, but now even searching the internet has been wokeified to stop people's fifis being hurt. This story here is being reported in the Daily Mail, who are rightly mocking it because it's bloody stupid, but in all honesty not really surprising. Here they headline it, Google goes woke, search engine launches inclusive language function to cut down on politically incorrect words. Yeah, completely insane, but it gets even better just in this bit here. Users type in landlord will see a warning saying it may not be inclusive to all readers, and gender-specific terms like policeman should be replaced by police officer because fifis might get hurt. You know, the funny thing is, every time they pull this nonsense, it just makes me less likely to use their so-called inclusive language, which, let's be honest, I bloody wouldn't. But as you guys likely know, the moment you try to control people's speech, anyone who's not a brainless sheep is actually going to tell you where to stick it, and they'll be right to do it, which is something I'd also do. It goes on, gender-specific terms such as policeman or housewife should also be replaced by police officer and stay-at-home spouse. Obviously, stay-at-home spouse sounds bloody ridiculous, but I take it Google wouldn't like me calling my missus a personal stay-at-home spunk bucket then, would they? But imagine actually trying to tell people what they should say to the point where you'll warn them when searching the internet, like this is 1984 or some shit, and all without thinking you're overstepping the mark by a few miles because that's what Google's doing here. At the end of the day, the only thing Google should do when you search is bring up the information you want, not tell you what words to use when doing it, so some poor twat's fifis are not hurt. Now, of course, we shouldn't be surprised by any of this because we know Google already controls what appears on your screen when you search, which is obviously wrong on every level, so them doing this is perhaps par for the bloody course. And in fact, it's especially that when given the past few years, but even before then, the writing's been on the wall for a while. Google, like all of these big companies, are nothing but a complete woke joke, and that's something we're seeing here. Now finally, let's quickly talk about Elon Musk and Twitter, because as you likely know, Elon Musk is trying to buy it with the aim of making it a free speech platform or something. Now personally, I'll believe it when I see it, but recent reports suggest a deal could actually be done today that could end with Musk in charge of it. Now while I don't really care about Twitter having been banned from there last year, it will sort mine the fuck out of lefty crybabies, so on that basis I consider this to be a good news story if it happens. At the end of the day, any time butthurt snowflakes are being salt mined, you must revel in it because we live through endless amounts of shit thanks to them lunatics. So for that reason there, I consider this, like I said, an actual good story and kinda hope that Musk takes over it, though it's not gonna matter to me because like I said, I've already been shit-canned. But guys, for now I'm going to end the video there, so thanks again for watching as always, and I'll see you all in the next one, I hope.